When was the last time you visited with him about it? Because I visited with him about it, what was it, last Friday or so?
I talked with him about it on Wednesday morning, I believe it was.
Okay. I talked to him on Thursday or Friday, and he was kind of of the impression that they could handle that. So evidently, he's kind of on the fence then.
Gotta buy probably, what, another mower, and a bunch of weed whippers, and more help in
Well, the idea, I think, is, Bob was saying the same thing I think I was the fact that we're so short of time right now. This is something that we're going to be doing it, we should be doing it like in the fall to where we can get prepared for it. Where now we're kind of jumping into it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. That's what
To answer your question, Jim, that we would have to spend, we estimated roughly about $4,000 the first year on capital improvement. That would be purchasing the equipment that we would need, plus a lease on a belly mower to perform the service. Now that belly mower, of course, would be a year-over-year expense for a few years. So you'd be talking about $4,000 in capital expense the first year, and roughly $2,500 a year thereafter.
So with tabling it at this time, would that, obviously complicate it even further?
it. Might for people that bid it, but they probably
Right.
want to get started.
I would wonder if any of those would want to bid it as not full, but with assistance. I mean, I could see that, well, let's ask them.
I was gonna raise my hand.
Yes.
I'm not saying this is, I was thinking something on the same line, but maybe not, depending on, like, you guys need help for the springtime. I don't know, I'm the only one here, I think that bid was, I believe, or is there somebody else here? I don't know, I mean, you guys, I do think it's a lot for a guy to swallow. After, I mean, I went out and picked up Memorial Day pots on Wednesday the other day, and there is a lot of work out there, and I don't think one mower is gonna do it. I don't know, that's my opinion, nobody's ever mowed it with one mower. And, I don't know, it's gonna take more than one or two people to mow that cemetery.
I think we'll have a one-year contract on it, and see what happens.
Further discussion, questions? Are you ready to move forward on any kind of a solution?
I would move we let a one-year contract on the cemetery mowing.
To which particular?
Are you ready to make a motion to who that would go to?
I would go with bidder, I guess. But if there's, I made that, we should have two motions on that, I think. If we decide on this, then we should discuss how you want to go about the bidding process. Do you want to take lowest bid, or you want to go by, what do you think the right bid is?
Well, I think we're pretty much, we have to go by a little bit.
The low bid was Mr. Huster, Dwayne Huster's bid of $24,408 for a one-year bid.
I guess that should be on the conscience of how you vote, so which way you want to do it.
I believe I'd ask for a first motion of what you want to do with the cemetery, and let's divide that up.
Well, the first motion that I would make that we go ahead and approve the bid of Huster, that contract, for a one-year contract.
I'll second that.
If there's no further discussion, I'll call for a vote. Sandy?
Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Ritter,
Yes.
motion carried.
Moving on to G, consideration of approving land purchase agreement with Jim Pop. Have you all had time to read it? It's not the final because there has to be some better descriptions, but we had to move forward on a document to get it locked in. Correct, Adam?
Correct. There, as there's been some delay, there has been some concern over about actually taking the steps to complete this project and keep all parties satisfied with the current agreement that's in place. And this is an agreement in place that would allow us to seal up the options so that everyone now has a commitment to move forward and to actually sign up for refinancing.
Any additional discussion?
So move.
Second?
I'll second it.
Call for a vote?
I have a question, if I could.
Yes, uh-huh.
Regarding that, if part of that agreement, can you tell us what that agreement was with Jim Hall?
Sure. The original arrangements that have been made with Mr. Hoff verbally include $35,000 for the purchase of the property. There is also an easement that would be allowed to him for the purposes of transporting, and I apologize if I don't get this actually correct, but transporting his horses from one area of his property to another area of his property. The last thing is that he has in place an option that if he ends up building a house on the piece of property that he would continue to own beside the plant, that we would run the service line from the sewer plant to the house, which is that's the agreement.
That's a service line for water, you mean?
Yes.
Water hookup?
Yes.
And is he inside the city limits?
Yes, he is.
And is there an existing well there now?
An existing.
Because he does have livestock there, and I'm wondering if there's an existing well there.
According to Snyder Associates, when they did a well research, that was not one of the properties that came up with an operating well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Call for a vote?
Councilman,
Is there a second?
yes,
Yes.
Jim gave the first, Bill second. Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Brennan,
Yes.
Frederick.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Move on to item 7, council forum. Anything to report,
Well,
council?
I'd like to follow up a little bit on my motion on this, and listen to the garbage thing. I think hopefully that'll give us a year to do your little study, and then we look at it next year if we can have the garbage people. We can save enough time in that, so that way by giving us a 1-year option on that way, we have time to look at it, won't be rushing anything and buying a bunch of machinery and
Just to let you know, Jim, that was something that was discussed within the committee, that this is basically a test run to see if there is an opportunity to continue to keep it in-house at the current structure, and if not, we'll have to re-examine it. We will likely start to know something within 2 months and have a much clearer picture within 6
on
months.
the garbage.
Yes.
Adam and I also discussed the fact that we need to do a better job of educating the public about recycling, because this will have a huge impact on our garbage. So we're going to start right away with putting something in our next newsletter and trying to get some more information out about it. Because I don't think we're doing a really good job of it right now.
And I don't think people, or everybody understands the dumping fees, that it's based on how much tipping fees, or how much weight goes in, the landfill. That's what the city's charged.
And then our annual assessments, our assessments that we make are actually partially based upon our weight too. So,
Well, my understanding is we didn't meet our goal, did we, for the recycling? So we got to pay a higher rate, no? And I just started recycling about 2 years ago, and if anybody can do it, and I can do it, anybody can. I have saved at least garbage. It's saved me money, because I only sent garbage every 2 weeks now. Saved like 30 cents.
Anybody have any ideas out there how we can get that information out so people understand how important it really is?
When I was a citizen of town, it used to be where the individuals that were picking up the recycling or the garbage, if they noticed a large amount of garbage that was recyclable, they informed the citizen or the property individual and thought maybe there could be a fine imposed. If you guys are concerned with the cost and what have you, that's one way of getting a little more people included in recycling.
Adam, you might share your experience too with what happened out in the Northwest where you previously lived.
and so